Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And I wanted to go into this lesson, all right, dealing with the end of this world and really the transition, okay, from this world to the one to come. And I'm speaking of the world in the sense of eon, all right, in the sense of an age, okay, or the end of this era, I should say, okay. So we're going to start off here with the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 9. And it says, "For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." And that's what we see going on right now, is that Esau is in power, but we're seeing him get into the end, all right, the very last bit of his power, okay, which means that we're at the point of transitioning. And that's why you see them doing what they're doing today, because Esau was going to be the heathen that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua was going to set up to destroy this current age, all right. And then through that destruction, the Lord was going to build it back, or usher in the new age, which is going to be led by Yahweh Shai, all right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, but Yahweh Shai coming down and destroying this place, all right. And that's why you see everything that's going on now, which are all steps and preparations for this place to go out. Okay, these are the last few signs, all right, of the destruction of this place. Now, as this place goes down and it transitions, okay, it's going to transition into what we know as the kingdom of heaven. Okay, so let's go here to the book of Acts, chapter 3, verse 19. And it says, "Repent ye therefore, and be converted, that your sins may be blotted out, when the times of refreshing shall come from the presence of the Lord." So that's what we're looking forward to, the times of refreshing. All right, now let's look up this word refreshing. And who's going to bring that time of refreshing? Well, Yahweh Shai is going to bring that time. Okay, so it says here, a cooling, refreshing, a recovery of breath, revival. And what's going to happen? The Lord is going to revive us, okay? And he's going to revive the earth. And that's why in Revelation 21st chapter, which we're going to read, it mentions a new earth, a new heaven and a new earth. Now, we know it's not literally talking about a planet, a new planet, because pursuant to the book of Ecclesiastes, the earth abideth forever. But what it is talking about is the same earth. It's just going to be renewed. All right, it's going to be expanded and it's going to be rejuvenated. Okay, and this is going to be the beginning of the rulership that Yahweh Shai is going to bring in. And it's going to be the complete opposite of this world today, of this society today. Okay, because now what do you have going on? You have ABCs. You got men becoming women, women becoming men, and then both of them having a child together. Okay, what level of confusion is that? You know, and they believe they're fine. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, the air you're breathing is poisoned. The water you're drinking is poisoned. The so-called medication they're giving you is poisoned. And now if you speak out against it, you know, you're a threat. You're a problem. All right, now they want to literally force it inside you, and you can't say anything about it. So if you have hope, all right, of anything left in this society, man, there's nothing here. Even if you wanted to stay in this society, you're just going to be a prisoner. All right, because that's what they're doing. They've set up a prison planet. But this shows you that we're at the end of the world, because the world cannot progress any further this way. All right, and they're at the point where they're about to enslave, okay, anybody that's not of the Lord's elect. They're about to enslave humanity, or I should say they're about to attempt to enslave humanity. Okay, so now let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 1. It says, "And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea." Okay, now, right now, Esau, you know, the Lord said he beheld Satan falling as lightning. Okay, because right now, and even when you read in Revelation, the 12th chapter, when it deals with the war in heaven, all right, and how the devil, the dragon and his angels, after they fought with Michael and his angels, their place was seen no more in the heaven as literal, but also meaning that them being in that authoritative seat, it is going to be taken away from them. Okay, so that new heaven also goes into a new rulership, which is going to happen when Yahweh Shai comes. And we, all right, those of us who are of the elect and make it, all right, to the other side, are going to see that transition. And we're going to be able to tell, all right, the true greatness of the kingdom, because we're not just going to be born into it. We're going to come from hell into heaven. Okay? We're going to come from hell into heaven. We're going to know what hell was like. Okay? But it's going to be, well, as we're reading here, a new heaven and a new earth, a refreshed planet. Okay, with no cancerous demonic virus like these Edomites roaming around, destroying things, prescribing unrighteous decrees, making you sick so that they can offer you medicine which makes you even more sick, just so they can keep making money off of you. All right, there's always something going on. There's always some plot somewhere, you know, some avenue somewhere, some angle that they're trying to work. You know, and they just never leave people alone. They got that, they tell people do as thou wilt, but really that's so people can become self-willed and become destroyed. All right? But in the kingdom, it's not going to be so. Okay, so verse 2 says, "And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband." Okay, so now did the Apostle John on the island of Patmos see an actual city? No. This city represents the elect. Okay, or I should say, is this city, okay, an actual physical city? No, it's not. It represents the elect, okay, that are coming down from the chariots. Verse 3, "And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them." Now, men, what kind of men? Israelite men. "And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and the Most High himself shall be with them and be their God." See, right now, the God of this world is Esau, Edom. And he's pushed his vibration, which is full of corruption, death, deception. All right, everywhere you turn, I mean, crime is through the roof. And when you look at the kind of crimes that are being committed now, you like, what the hell is going on with people? You got people walking up into places with hatchets, just you know what I'm saying, just chopping people up. I saw a video of this dude, you know, out of road rage, man just got out his car and threw a whole tomahawk straight into the guy's windshield, full force, anger. All right, people are inhumane. They're insane. All right, people are insane nowadays, man. This kingdom is done. Food shortages. How is this supposed to be life when everything you have to fight for everything? It's gotten so bad that people they think that hustling is a flex. You know, oh, I'm constantly hustling and doing this. That's not a flex. That's not something you want to be proud of. Okay? But in our kingdom that's to come, as we're about to read right now, verse 4, "And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes." But in here, in this place, all you have is constant tears. Okay, it's just filled with death. It's filled with sorrow. It's filled with stress, whether monetarily or physically, or, you know, some infirmity. It's just constantly something. And it's to the point where if nothing is happening to you, you almost feel weird, like, whoa, is something, you know what I'm saying, am I missing something? Okay, because that's what this world is full of. And it gets worse when you wake up to this truth. It's like being in hell, but now knowing that you're in hell. See, with a lot of these people, they don't realize that they're in hell because they don't know that there's a heaven. So we used to be like that, and that's why we didn't, although, you know, certain things didn't sit well with us, we didn't see everything that was wrong with the world like we do now. Okay, so that's like being in hell. And if hell is all you've ever known, then, you know what I'm saying, it may burn, but it's not as bad. But when you realize that there's a heaven, then you know that you're in hell, then it's even worse. Because you know that there's something better out there. And that's the spirit we're in. We know that there's a better life. So living in this vexing world, all right, it makes things double vexing. But as we're reading here, very soon the Lord says, and he's going to wipe away all tears from our eyes, and there shall be no more death. And death is something that, regardless of what empire it was, what ruler it was, how great they were never able to overcome. Okay, nobody, with the exception of Yahushai, all right, you know, and really Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, nobody on, no mortal man has been able to solve the problem, quote unquote, of death. A lot of people don't even understand it, you know, but it's that one thing that gets everybody. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how poor you are, how famous you are. Death, nobody escapes death. But guess what? And whenever death comes, there's always sadness, there's always sorrow, there's always mourning, even if you understand what death truly is. Some people think that when you die, you just cease to exist. And some know that when you die, you go to the spirit world. But even still, death is a painful thing. But pursuant to this verse we're reading here in the kingdom, when Yahushai sets it up, this is going to be one of those transitions. We're going to go from dying constantly all the time to never dying at all. We're going to go from sorrows and tears to not crying tears of pain anymore. It says, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. That's physical pain, that's emotional pain, that's spiritual pain. Any form of pain we're not going to feel. Right now, the slightest thing could cause you pain. You know, even some things may be unintentional and they could still cause you pain. Everything is just sorrowful, gloomy. It's just all just gloomy, you know, and it's constantly work. It's like there's no sunshine. Okay, but very soon it's coming. But we know that before the sun shines, it has to get very, very, very dark in this land. And that's what we're seeing now, those dark times. And we're very close to the month of September. And it looks like it's going to be a heavy month. But we have to watch and see. Nevertheless, we know that there's something going to be happening in that month. Okay? So it says here, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. There you go. So as this world ends, what's ending with this world are the former things. Pain, crying, death, sorrow. All right. Now, you notice when you read in, I believe, Revelation, the 6th chapter, when it describes Esau as the red horse, it says power was given unto him to take peace from the earth. Okay. So that's why during his rulership, as we read in 2nd Ezra 6, that he was going to be ruling at the end times, because he's the end of the world. Of course, all you're going to be seeing is what? Pain and suffering and death, because his job was to take peace from the earth. But the Prince of Peace, Yahushua, when he comes, he's going to bring peace. Okay, and he's going to bring healing in his wings, and he's going to bring deliverance. That's why all these things are likened unto the former things. So whatever we're going through now, or we've been through, all right, you have some people that have been through traumatic experiences that they, you know, no matter what they go through, it's hard for them to overcome that. You know, damn near any chick you meet has gone through some, you know, either been molested or, you know, touched or something like that, whether they were younger or whenever it was, and they just never told anybody, and they locked it in some secret part, you know, some part in the back of their mind and try to forget about it, you know. But at some point, you know, something has happened, something traumatic has happened to them, and it's just, you know, they can't get over it, you know, and in their minds, they think it's just you get only one life to live, you know, and so for them, it's gone. But in the kingdom, it's not going to be so. You're going to get a fresh start. Okay, it's like getting a redo. You know, if you're of the elect, it's like getting a redo, but because, you know, right now, when we transition from here to the kingdom, we're not going to get a mental reset in the sense of forgetting everything. No. Okay. We're going to know, okay, well, we just changed. We just transitioned. So we're continuing, but with new bodies, which means that your women are going to be virgins. Okay. Because if a chick is not a virgin here, when she gets a new body, it's not going to be defiled. Okay, nobody has ever touched that her in that body. So it's gonna be all brand new again. Okay, so fresh, new. Same thing for the men. Okay, and whatever ailments or whatever problems you have, when the Lord changes us, it's all gonna just disappear. If you old, you're gonna be young. You know, if you sickly, you're gonna be healthy. You're gonna be in your prime. All right, and you're gonna stay in your prime for all of eternity. You're gonna be fast. You know, you're gonna feel, agile. You're gonna feel, good. Okay, you're gonna be attractive. All right. Now, the opposite of those things are what's called or likened unto the former things, and they're all gonna be passed away. Okay. Your titties ain't gonna drop and be all droopy and saggy, and you looking like, oh man, ain't nobody ever want me, and da 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 da, and this, that, and the third. I want people, but they don't want me, and all that's gonna be done away with. All right. You worried about hair, and your hair is not growing, and you're getting old, and no more of that. Once again, that is a part of the former things. Okay, so it says, and he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. There you go. That includes the earth, that includes the animals, that includes the people, and that's going to start with us. Okay, we're going to get a new outlook on life, a new understanding. See, right now we understand certain things, but you got to keep in mind, we understand things based on what our brains are capable of understanding. Okay, when we read certain scriptures, we imagine certain things, but that's based on what our brains are capable of imagining. Okay, so we don't truly have the full perspective of what things are like or what they should be. We have a good enough perspective that can gain us salvation, but when we get those new bodies, our minds are not going to have limitations. They're going to be capable of doing anything. Okay, and our imagination is going to be just out there. Okay, so as the Lord said, I make all things new. All right, let me go to verse 5. And he that sat upon the throne said, behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, write, for these words are true and faithful. So we know this is going to happen. Okay, just like everything happening now. Now, things may still seem as though, it's still tarrying a bit, but as we always say, if you're paying attention, it's like contractions, when a woman has them and it gets the intervals in between get shorter and shorter, you know that it's time, she's about to have that baby. So what you're seeing is these prophetic contractions upon this world. All right, where went from every year, couple of years, to every couple of months, every 6 months, every couple of months, okay, every couple of weeks, every couple of days, every couple of hours, something is going on, which shows you that this space is about to, metaphorically give birth, meaning they're about to go through, the world is about to go through Jacob's trouble. Okay, so we know that these things are faithful and they are true because it's happening just according to prophecy. Verse 6, and he said unto me, it is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. And it started with Yahushai, well, it started with Yahweh, but from Yahushai as Adam, and it's going to end with Yahushai as Yahushai, the second Adam. Okay, it says, and I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things. So now that makes you think, well, overcometh what? Okay, he that overcometh what? Well, overcometh this system, overcometh everything that's happening now. And we know what we have to do. We got to trust in the Lord, but somebody overcomes. Okay, somebody overcomes, because let's go to Revelation 15 and then we'll come back. But Revelation chapter 15 verse 1, and this is getting ready to happen very soon. How do we know that? Well, look around. The beast, all right, setting up his image, and he's getting ready to come down with that wrath to try and instill his tag upon people. So we know that there's going to be people that get victory over the beast. So if the beast is getting ready, all right, to strike, then that means that the victory is getting ready to be given to those individuals. Revelation chapter 15 verse 1, and I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues, for in them is filled up the wrath of God. And when that 7th plague hits, this place is done. And I saw as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire. And why? Because there's a scripture in Job that mentions he shall deliver thee in 6 trouble. All right. Because right before that 7th, we got to be delivered out of here. Because when that 7th plague hits, those missiles go off and this place is done. Dead zone. Okay. Now, as it says, and them that had what? That had gotten the victory over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass having the harps of God. And how do you get this victory? Starts through Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, but it's by denying the beast and his image and his mark. Okay, which is going to be hard because this beast has had his image undercover for so long. He's been setting it up, but the way people have been functioning all these years, they've been getting slowly conditioned, all right, to where when he unveils that system full force, he's trying to ready people for it. And right now, that's what you see going on. We're in the stages of Poel, pursuant to Revelation 13 and 16. He causeth all. We're in the causeth phase. All right, he's getting ready, conditioning the minds of people to get ready, setting up the infrastructure, the policies, all of that, to bring in his tag, to bring in his I'm running out of words right now, but you get it. Okay, to bring in his tag. Okay. Now it says here, and they sing the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord, power almighty, just and true are thy ways, thou King of saints. All right, because Yahushua is going to come and he's going to slay this beast. Okay, he's going to deliver his elect. But that's why I mentioned those that overcome. So you got to have that mindset of being ready to overcome, being ready to gain this victory. All right, we have to just hold out just a little bit longer, but you have to be ready to deny yourself. And the reason I say deny yourself is because they're going to try to get you to turn on yourself. They're going to try to get your flesh to turn on your spirit. Okay, and if you don't deny yourself, then guess what? You're going to get denied. Okay? Yep, Shalom, Elder. Lively Stones 144K, that song of Moses mentions the downfall of Edom. Exactly. Okay, so it's only fitting that the elect would sing the song of Moses as Esau's downfall is happening right then and there. Okay? And that's what's coming. So the sooner that they make their move, the sooner this happens. Okay? The only reason things are taking a long time because these last few prophecies are attached. They're attached to each other. One causes the other. And the other doesn't happen unless the first one that causes it happens. Okay? The destruction doesn't come unless the mark comes. And Yahushua doesn't come unless the destruction comes. And we don't get delivered unless Yahushua comes. Okay? So what we're waiting for is what's going to trigger that series of events. But once it's triggered, then everything else is going to flow super fast because it's all going to be boom, 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 like a domino effect. Okay, so in essence, when the first domino is hit, then it doesn't take long until the last one falls. But the wait time is before the first domino is hit. That's what's taking. That's really what we're waiting for, is for the first domino to hit. And what happens is it's almost like the wind pushes it, and then the domino goes, and it looks like it's about to touch the other one. Then it stands up straight again. Then maybe a little bit later, then Zion comes and pushes it, and then it waves a bit. Then it stands straight again. And that's what we see happening with these prophecies. All right, but this time it's looking like it's been hit, and it's like it's like quarter slanted right now. So we watching and we waiting to see, is it gonna fall? Is it gonna come back and then fall again? That's what we're watching right now. But it's looking like this time, Lord willing, it just might tilt. Because with how the angle is, it looks impossible to come back. Okay? So, hey, man, we got to watch. All right? And pray. Now, let's go back to the book of Revelation 21. All right? And these are good precepts to read and meditate upon as these things happen. You should have the mindset that, look, These things are happening, but this means the victory is coming. This is setting us up for the victory. Okay? This devil has to make his move, and then the Lord makes his move. It's linked. Okay, so don't fear when the devil, and really when you think about it, it's not the devil doing anything. It's the Most High doing it at the end of the day. Because he's speeding it up so he can give us the kingdom. There's a scripture that says that it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. That it pleases Yahushua to make us happy. Okay? But we have a job to do first, and that's to overcome. And this is going to be a fight of the will. Okay, your faith. How willing are you? How far are you willing to go? Okay, so it says here, verse 7, he that overcometh shall inherit what? All things. Okay, now the Lord said he makes all things new. So that means everything we're going to inherit is going to be new. All right, it's going to be in the top state. We're gonna unlock treasures that have never been seen before in existence, because there's a lot that the Lord has that we were just never ready for. Okay, and now he's gonna make us ready to be able to handle those things. All right, without going off, without having wicked thoughts, without misusing it, and with no form of corruption. See, there's certain things the Lord couldn't reveal right now because you have this corrupt demon that's ruling. And if he was to get access to those things, he would corrupt it and he would defile it. Just like everything else that he gets access to, he defiles it. Okay, so the Lord had to wait till we came into our perfection before he can unveil these things to us, because we would be able to utilize it to its fullest, to how it's supposed to be used. So there's a lot of knowledge on how certain things work that's not given to us on the earth right now, because it wouldn't be in its right time and it wouldn't be used properly. Okay, so it says here, Revelation 21:7, he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. And whatever the Father has, he passes on down to his son. Okay, let's see what we have here. This is Lively Stones 144K, Psalms 12:8. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. Khan, exactly. And right now, well, being that the vilest men are ruling, they exalt what? Wickedness. All right. So and all the things the Lord really wants to unleash for us are righteous, beautiful gifts, but that can't be put here because this devil is going to take it and he's going to try to experiment on it, try to figure out how it works, meddle with it. Okay, because that's just the spirit that he has. All right, this is Prince of Yahweh 5, Proverbs 15:25. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but will establish the border of the widow. Okay, and that represents us. And that's what the Lord is going to do. And when he comes back, because that's Yahushua's main mission, to come and destroy this place and to set up the kingdom that is going to be an everlasting kingdom. You're going to have Edomites thinking like, damn, man, why the hell was I even wicked? Shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, but they can't help it because it's in their nature. Okay. Verse 8, it says, but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Okay, and if you're not of the elect, you will not be exempt from the second death. So you should be afraid when these things start happening, because this means that salvation is nearer for the elect, but destruction is nearer for the wicked. Okay, because it's going to be one of two things: you're either saved or you're destroyed. Of course, we're all going to be in the kingdom, but it's how you get to the kingdom. Do you die and get reborn in the kingdom, or does the Lord take you out and then bring you back as one of those that died in Yahushua? Or do you stay here, like the Lord said, some of you that shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming? That means you go from whatever life you live now to a king, an immortal being, okay? And you live forever. You don't experience death. Imagine that. Since your birth in this time, you're never going to experience death. People don't walk around having those thoughts. They don't. This, it's too far. It'll fry their brains if they try to think like that. You know, in their mind is YOLO. You only live once. Whatever, however you've lived your life, you know, that's it. And sometimes I think, man, that it's a scary thing to be a two-third or have a two-third mindset, because when you think about it, right, what do you actually do? What is your purpose? If you were to take away the vanity and the jobs and so on and so forth, say somebody retires, now what? Because, you know, usually they just work, but now what? What do you do? Like, are you satisfied just being void, just being there? What's your purpose? There's nothing that you are going to be known for. There's nothing that you stand for. You're just there, not doing anything. You know, that's not having a purpose or an important purpose that you are fulfilling, because being that they're sons of the power, they do have a purpose, but they're not fulfilling it. Okay? And that's got to be one of the emptiest feelings you get, but they don't even realize it. Okay? So now let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 19, and let's go to verse 11. All right, because this is all going to happen when Yahushua comes back, and best believe Yahushua is coming back. All right, he's coming back. The fact that we're seeing everything going on now is just more proof that he's coming back. No, you're not going to have this thing leads to the mark and then the destruction doesn't come, or the destruction comes but Yahushua doesn't come. No, the scriptures say that not one of these shall fail. All these prophecies are going to come to pass. Okay, this generation shall not pass till what? Till all be fulfilled. So Revelation 19 and 11, and I saw heaven opened, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat upon him was called Faithful and True, and that white horse was Yahushua's chariot. Okay, white because it was white represents purity, and horse represents power, because that's how Yahushua is coming back, in pure power. Okay, and he says, I shall not meet thee as a man, and Yahushua has a thing. He has a thing set out for Esau, Edom, particularly. Because guess what? Who put him to death? Yeah, you had Jakes, and the Jakes gonna get it, but who was in power at that time? Edomites. Okay? Edomites. It says, and in righteousness he doth judge, and what? And make war. So when Yahushua comes, he's coming to make war. Because this beast is declaring war. This beast is coming to make war with us. Okay, and Yahushua is going to come and make war with him. How do we know that? Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17. It says here, and the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went, and the woman represents Israel, and the dragon represents Esau and his power structure. It says, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed. So who's the remnant of her seed? Who's the remnant of the Israelites? The elect, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. So if the devil or the dragon comes to make war with the elect who have the testimony of Yahushua, doesn't it make sense that when Yahushua comes back, he's going to make war on that beast, on that dragon? And it's already written what the outcome of the war is going to be. Verse 12, his eyes were as a flame of fire, and on his head were many crowns. And he had a name written that no man knew but he himself. And he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood, and his name is called the Word of God. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, which were the angels. Okay, and those white horses represent the chariots that the angels are coming in. Clothed in fine linen, white and clean, out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. So when Yahushua comes back, what's he going to do? He's going to rule these nations. Okay? It says, and he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of the Almighty God, because he's coming in the power and the spirit of his Father as well. Okay? So you're going to have double wrath. And he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. And that's what he's going to be recognized as. All right. And you know, it's a beautiful thing that a being so powerful is righteous. Because if this was flipped and shit, and it was the other way, and it was the left hand, we would have been done. Imagine a being so powerful, but yet they're wicked, or they're on the left hand side. There will be no hope. You might as well just become wicked because shit, you have King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and you know what I'm saying? Hey, so thanks be to Yahweh Shem Shai that things are the way they are, and that we're on the right side of things, Lord willing. Verse 17, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried with a loud voice, saying to all the fowls, that's not Ra or Amun Ra or whatever, you know, madness that people thinking. All right, it says, to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together onto the supper of the great power. And it's going to be a very eventful time when Yahweh Shai comes back, because nothing is normal now. When people think that when we talk about chariots and spiritual power and these things that it's far-fetched. Well, if we told you the things happening now were going to be happening when we told you this years ago, you thought it was far-fetched. Well, look at where we at. Bet you never thought that they would actually come and try to force this thing on you and tell you can't do anything without it. When has this happened before? Okay, and then they're not stopping. So we got to see, well, what levels are they going to go to? What extent are these devils going to go to enforce these ridiculously draconian mandates? Okay, that we've never seen before. And in the midst of all of this, you have all these shortages, food shortages, you have evictions, you have wintertime coming, you have a quote-unquote pandemic going on. And once the food gets affected and it hits home, people are going to lose it. And we keep telling you that. All right. Food is a key essential to keeping people calm and sane. And when people don't have food, they become insane. So insane that they're ready to eat people. Okay. It says here, well, let me actually jump down to, yeah, this is verse 19, Revelation 19 and 19. And I saw the beast. And now, when we read these things, I was watching the live stream that was done earlier by the Apostle Gabar and the Apostle Ramla, and they were going into the practicality of the beast, right? Because when you first hear about the beast and his image and his mark and the Roman Empire and so on and so forth, it sounds all history-like, history, but it's actually here today. So how do you recognize the beast from biblical terms to modern day terms? And they broke it down. The beast being Esau's power structure, and the image being the system, especially this NWO system that they're setting up, which starts now with their agenda. Okay, and we know what their mark is. So, and I saw the beast. You know what that, when you think of beast, don't think of just some thing, some historical figure, some empire. Think of the power structure today. The same people you see making these laws and running things, that's who it's referring to. It says, and the kings of the earth, which are these different rulers of these different nations, when they have these summits, all these kings gather together anyway. So you're already familiar with them. It's just the connection of modern day and scriptures. And that's our job, to show you that these things happening in today's day are all in the scriptures. Okay, it's one and the same. You just have to know how to equate it. It says, and their armies, their troops, their military, gathered together to make war against him that sat on the horse and against his army. So that, and who was he that sat on the horse? Yahushai. And who was his army? The angels. So you're going to have this beast and his armies, just like in Revelation 12 and just like in 2nd Ezra 13, the beast and his armies fight against the Lord and his armies. It's going to be war, an actual war. Okay? It's going to be a very one-sided war, but it's still going to be a war. Verse 20, and it actually, we're about to read about the outcome of that war. And through this outcome is where we get Revelation 21, going into the Lord making all things new again, because he needs to take out the corruption. All right. You notice when you have a disease or an ailment or a problem, you need to first get rid of it before you can start healing. You need to kill the virus, kill the cancer, and then you need to start recovering. Because when the cancer or the virus is still there, you can't recover. It's prohibiting you from recovering. So you need to take it out the way, and then you can recover. Well, that's what Yahweh Shai is going to do. He's going to take these devils out the way so that the earth can recover, so that the kingdom of heaven can come in. This cancer, the kingdom of heaven is like the recovery of the earth, and Esau is standing in the way of that. So until he gets taken out of the way, the kingdom can't come. All right, so it says, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. All right, the false prophet going into their religious system. All right, which they've set up, and a lot of, if it ain't the truth, man, a lot of majority, if not all, of these religious systems are all controlled. When you go deeper into it, they're all linked and they're all controlled by one people. Okay, whether it's sects of Christianity or Islam or all these different religions. It says, I'm gonna read it again. And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast. So people who received the mark were what? They were deceived. And through that deception, that's one thing you keep in mind, that's one thing you can never go back from. You will die. If you take that, you're going to die. Okay, don't play with the Lord and say, well, I did it and it's been a week and I'm fine. The Lord is going to kill you, man. That's end all. Just know, if you do that, when Yahweh Shai comes back in the very near future, you're not making it. There's no way you're making it. If you take it, there is no way you're making it. You're going to die. You're going to feel that pain. So you, in essence, you basically decided to take away your chances. It says, and them that worshipped his image. And why are people going to worship his image? Some people are just going to be down with it, but a lot of people are going to end up worshiping his image because of this right here that we're about to read. Revelation 13, verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That is why a lot of these people are going to worship the image of the beast. And you see a small example of that right now. You can see that a lot of people are giving in and bowing down and going and receiving this Vanessa, not because they want to, but because they fear the consequence. Okay? They fear the consequence of what's going to happen if they don't. AKA, they that don't take it should be what? They should be killed. Okay, oh, you're not going to be able to go here. You're not going to be able to do this. You're not going to be able to do that. Well, guess what? That's exactly what they're doing now. They are showing you or preparing you for the way the new life or the new world is going to be like. That's what this is. This is a test run for what the new world is going to be like. Okay? So that's why, as we're reading in Revelation 19, it talked about those that worshipped his image. Because some of them are not going to come willingly in the sense of, joyously, like I want to do this. But out of fear of being killed or fear of consequence, they're going to do it. Because they don't want to suffer for Yahweh Shai's sake. They don't want to suffer for righteousness' sake. They want the easy way out. They want the temporal pleasures, all right, and they want to forsake the true riches and the true reward that's coming. Well, if that's what you want, then so be it. It's, I mean, we suffered this whole time, so it's nothing for us to suffer just a little bit longer. It says, these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. So this beast system is going to be done. And once that's out the way, guess what? All the former things are going to go with it. And especially for us, the death and the pain and the sorrow and the being in debt and all of these tragedies that we go through is all going to disappear like a bad dream. All right. Verse 21, and the remnant were slain with the sword of him that sat upon the horse, which sword, and this isn't talking about the remnant of the elect. Okay. It says, which sword proceedeth out of his mouth, and all the fowls were filled with their flesh, because there's going to be a lot of death that goes on when Yahweh Shai comes back. It's going to be real. It's going to be a bloodbath, but there's going to be killing. Have you ever witnessed a laser beam come from a chariot and kill somebody in front of you? No, but you just might. You know, and you might constantly be going in between reality and hallucination. You might constantly be having to check yourself and say, this is real. This is real. This is actually happening. Because your brain, as it's seeing these things, is trying to process that you're not dreaming. You know, like, yo, hold up. I know I believe this. I know I've been seeing this thing, but hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. Is this really what? Okay, because that's how it's going to feel. It's going to feel surreal. All right. Even if the Lord blesses you with spiritual power and maybe you just annihilate like 50 people with laser beams out your eyes or something, or you just teleport somewhere, you might need a second to really let that sink in. Like Peter, when he got delivered by the angel, he said, you know, the scriptures say that he thought it was a vision until after a little while after, you know, it really started sinking in, and he realized, no, that wasn't a vision. This was real. Okay? Because it's gonna be that unrealistically real. All right? These are things that we only imagine or see during movies or cartoons or anime. We don't see these things in real life. So to actually experience them in real life, in a world where that's not promoted, in a world where that's looked at as you're crazy and it's just fantasy, that's gonna be a real shock value. Not only to the world, but to us as well. Even though we know. But to experience is also it's a whole different ball game. To know that the time is gonna come when we're gonna get new bodies is one thing. But to actually experience having a new body is a whole nother ball game. To know that you might be able to fly, one thing. To actually be flying, whole nother ball game. Okay? So let's go on real quick. This is the book of Daniel, and this is the last precept I have here. But this is Daniel chapter 7, verse 14. And there was given him, and this is referring to Yahushai, dominion. And hey, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man, because the Lord said he's going to make us joint heirs with him. All right, because this is really given to Yahushai. But it's like we're going to, you know, just jump up to that level. We're going to go from 0 to 100, literally. Because right now, we're in 0. Right now, that's where we're at. We're in 0. But when Yahushai comes back, we're going to, boom, level up just like that. And jump straight to 100. Or 144. So it says, and there was given him dominion and glory. So we're going to get dominion, and we're also going to get glory. And a kingdom, we're also going to get that kingdom. That all people, nations, and languages should serve him. And guess what? They're going to serve us too. It says, his dominion is an everlasting dominion. So what we read in Revelation 21, that's going to be everlasting. That's why Paul talked about the sufferings of this time will not compare to the glory that shall be revealed in us. Another reason is because the glory that is going to be revealed in us is going to be eternal, while the sufferings are only temporal. It doesn't matter what pain you go through, eventually it will subside. But the reward that you're going to get is going to be forever, for all eternity. And there's not going to be 1 second in the kingdom that we will be bored and say, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's been 1,000 years. I've done everything there is to do. Like vampire movies. You know, the vampire, he's immortal. He watches everybody. He falls in love with, grow old, and die. And then eventually he wants to stop being immortal because there's nothing that excites him anymore. That's not how the kingdom is going to be. You're gonna sit down and be like, damn, even eternity is not enough time to do everything that the Lord has for us. And that's why it's going to be a perfect kingdom. Okay? Because we're going to be constantly evolving, constantly coming up with new things, constantly changing things, rebuilding things. I mean, just like in this kingdom, things advance and technology advances, but who do you think gives these devils the knowledge to come up with this technology they have? The Most High. And he says he's going to give us those godlike minds. So what do you think our kingdom is going to be like? And over time, you know, as we add more and more things and we think about more things and we invent more things, it's going to be a constantly ever evolving kingdom, and it's just going to get better and better and better and better. And we're very close. We're so close. The Lord could come back next year, because the most important prophecies are not a lot. That's the beautiful thing about it. That the major last end prophecies are not a lot. It's not like 10,000 prophecies left. And they're so closely linked to each other that, like I mentioned earlier, we just need that one to start, and that's it. Okay? And that's what we're praying, that Lord willing, this starts this year. This starts this fall. Okay? Going into winter. But we have to watch and see, because it's all the Lord's plan anyway. So it says, his dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. All right, we're never going to go into slavery or captivity or any of that. We're never going to go wrong or miss something, or we're going to be perfect. Perfection. And I know we don't know what perfection is like, but we will. Okay? And that's going to be our normal day-to-day life. Okay? So I think that's all I had on here. Let's see. Yep, this is Arrows of Indignation 144. This is Romans 11:4. But what saith the answer of the Most High? Unto him I have reserved to myself 7,000 men, which means a complete number of men, who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. And there you go. And those same individuals are here today. And they're not going to bow the knee. And the Lord is going to back them up. Okay, he's going to back up his elect. All right. Yeah, there will always be something new to do in the kingdom. There's always going to be new things. I mean, imagine that. Your child is going to be able to play with wild animals, but they're not going to be wild to us. Right now, man, your child, if you out and it's been 2 seconds and you haven't seen your child, that's a problem. Like that's a problem. That's an issue. In the kingdom, we're not going to have to worry about things like that. Because now everything that happens, it's like the first thing that comes to your mind is worry. It's a negative feeling. It's like worry. You got to make sure if it's something that's going to affect you negatively, then it's not just you're thinking about. You're thinking about how it's going to affect your child, how it's going to affect your woman, how it's going to affect your family, how it's going to affect brothers. Whatever it is multiplied. And usually it's negatives that is multiplied. And it's just negatives and negatives and negatives, and it just doesn't stop. This whole situation with this Vanessa, it's not going to affect just us. It's going to affect those around us as well. So now that's another thing. It's always doubled, But hey, in the kingdom, it's going to be flipped, reversed, man. It's going to be joy on top of joy on top of joy. And that's what's coming up. That's why we are excited for the end of this world. Because the end of this world is going to go away, and it's going to take all the misery and the hell and the BS with it. No more waking up to alarm clocks and waking up with your neck hurting and all these. No. None of that. We're going to wake up. The scriptures say we're going to wake up so happy we're going to be singing upon our beds. That's the kind of life we want to live. And that's the kind of life, Lord willing, we will be living very soon. Okay? So I'm going to end it off here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. Stay in the spirit. Keep watching, because we at that time where these prophecies are going to be fulfilled. And any moment, that's how the Lord works, spontaneously. So at any moment, you wake up and you can see that news or that article and say, oh, yeah, this is it. Okay? Or the lights might just go out. Who knows? But stay in the spirit. Keep praying. Pray for fewer days and pray that the Lord brings the destruction sooner and sooner and sooner. Okay, so with that, I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.